are you? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Gabby, and on this channel I share my entrepreneurial journey, business tips I learn along the way, and I sprinkle in a little self-improvement and self-care, lifestyle, all that jazz. So if any of those topics interest you in any way, shape, or form, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. I would appreciate it so much. It really helps your girl out. We are on the road to 1K, so yes girl. So if you haven't seen my last video, I will link it up above and down below in the description box, but pretty much I spoke about how to find out the cost to produce your goods, and it was specific to handmade skincare because that's what I do, y'all. So hopefully that helped one of y'all out. A second part that goes with that video is how to price your handmade skincare products and body care products, because you have to make sure that you're making a profit and a return on all the hard work you're putting in to make sure that your business can last, that you have enough money to repurchase ingredients, jars, lids, bottles, all that jazz, advertisement dollars. Girl, you gotta make sure you get your money back, okay? So in this video, I'm gonna share with you guys how I price my skincare and handmade body care products. So let's get into it. So first things first, you need to know the cost that it takes to produce each item. The cost is the total expense to produce a single product. That includes your raw materials like ingredients, your oils, your butters, your gold flakes that you want to put into a facial serum, all that. It also includes packaging and overhead expenses. Your overhead expenses includes labor and shipping, maybe even Wi-Fi, you know, to be able to work on Shopify at home, all that jazz. So that is what the cost is, and you need to know that. You need to know that, okay? And if you haven't seen my last video, I literally go into detail about how to figure out the cost of your products, you know, how to figure out labor and all that jazz. So once you know the cost that it takes to produce a single product for your store, the next thing that we would get into is retail pricing or suggested retail price. That is paid by the end user. So for instance, if you have a website, the suggested retail price is paid by the consumer that will be using that product. I'm explaining it that way because we are going to get into wholesale pricing as well, and that's a different story. I have seen formulas and things of that nature, and I'm not doing all that. I like to keep things simple. So a healthy MSRP for cosmetics is about 6 times your cost. It's really important to never price below 3 times your cost, because you would not be making enough money to repurchase and keep your business going, as well as even offer wholesale prices if that's something that you would want to do in the future. If you do want a formula, I will link down below THEREALNYEE's video on this subject where she goes in depth about formulas. But girl, that ain't me. I'm simple, I'm cute, okay? I also want to stress to not feel tempted to offer lower prices, because you might see that your competitors are offering lower prices and they're selling out. You need to do what's right for you as far as pricing your products, because you may be using organic products and they're not, so your ingredients cost more. Or maybe you want to charge, or maybe you want to pay yourself $100 an hour and they're paying themselves nothing. To each its own. Do what's right for you, and do not be tempted to offer lower prices just to make sales, because baby, you're gonna be losing money out of pocket to keep up with those sales. You need to make sure that your sale price can cover your costs and more. So your retail price or suggested retail price should be an average of 4 to 6 times the cost it takes to produce that specific product. So now your girl gonna get into wholesale, because I know that's huge right now. A lot of lip gloss businesses, eyelash businesses, skincare businesses are offering wholesale. So I want to make sure I touch on the topic to make sure you're right for when that time comes for you. Yes, I said when, because I'm speaking it into existence, boo. I got you. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. If that's what you want to happen for your business, it will. She never comes in here. That's why I'm so confused. Can I help you?
Baka rin la. Lalo na ka
got on cocky, miss you. Back to the regularly scheduled program. Wholesale is when you are selling to a middleman who will then sell to your end user. For instance, you can sell to boutiques at a wholesale price, and the people that shop at the boutique will then pay their MSRP and use it in the end, if that makes sense. You can also sell wholesale to other business owners that maybe don't want to make the product themselves, whatever the case may be. But wholesale is when there's a middleman to the end user. So the easiest way that I've come up with wholesale prices is to just do half of my MSRP, because if you are charging 5 to 6 times the cost, your wholesale price would still give you about 60% profit margin, which I think is great, and I believe that's a healthy return on wholesale pricing. So that's what I have for wholesale. So I love to keep my videos short and simple because these days we have short attention spans. I understand that. So I just want to summarize with y'all real quick. All in all, the most important thing is to understand the cost it costs. The cost to produce a single item. You would then multiply that of an average of 4 to 6 times to get your retail price. When it comes to wholesale, you would divide your retail price in half, and you would still have a healthy profit margin as far as that goes. It's tip time, so in this video I did want to include some tips before, you know, I give y'all the deuces. The first tip is to not price your products too low. If you price your products too low, some people may not value them and might be like, nah, I don't want this, I'm good. That's pretty much like going to Dollar Tree and seeing a face mask for $1. I mean, to each his own, but for me, I would look at it and question it, like, why is it $1? Like, what ingredients are in here? Do I want it? I don't want it. The second tip is to not price your items too high, because then they might not move as quickly and you just gonna be sitting on product. But again, that's based on the cost and the ingredients you're using to make that product, because you can be using something real expensive, and you multiply that by 5 or 6 times and you get your cost. I'm saying don't jack it up too much. For instance, I would never sell a body butter that I currently make for $65, because that just don't make no sense. That just, for me, for the ingredients I use, it just doesn't make sense. Okay. Tip number 3 is to check your competitors and the products that they're selling that you are interested in selling or that you already have, and check their prices and where you fit in. But also be sure to check that their brand resonates with yours as well. Like, for instance, if you're selling luxury, make sure that they're also a luxury brand, and if they're an affordable brand, you get it, because don't compare your luxury brand to someone's affordable brand and then try to lower your prices. No. So that is all for this video. Hopefully you guys learned something and it has encouraged you to hustle, boss up, and what? Design your dream life, because if I can do it, you can do it too. Price your products right and get that bread, girl. We get in the bag all 2021. That's it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.